All right. I'm going to start this off right now. If you're in the chat right now, if you could let me know how the audio sounds. Normally, I have this big mic just kind of sitting off to the side, but I'm experimenting with doing better quality audio for these videos, and so I thought I would use this mic here. This is a dynamic microphone. That's the difference between the two. This one here is called a condenser microphone, and it kind of picks up all of the sound in the room. This one here, you have to be really close for the audio to work. I just went out of focus there. But the sound is better. So I want to say thanks to everybody who showed up early. I was saying in the chat earlier that often for live events, only 25% of the people will show up. And I've found that with online workshops and everything. I remember I did my first online workshop and I was expecting to have all this interactivity, but I'd only sold 10 tickets. And then I think only 3 or 4 people showed up. And it was a lot harder to, I thought I'd have a group of 10, but I only had a group of 3. So really glad you're here if you're watching live. And if you couldn't watch live, I know some of you are working during the day and some of you are in a different time zone. I'm glad you're watching this as a recording. So this is the kickoff for Secret Makers. Just to remind you again, Secret Makers is basically me packaging up a bunch of things I've offered in the past. First is you get lifetime access to the Product People Club. The second thing is you get 4 personal coaching calls with me. And I've already done 3 of those calls. 3 of you have already booked calls. And we've had the initial call. If you haven't done that yet, you can still book your January call. And I know some of you signed up just for the coaching. And that's fine too. If you're not interested in Product People Club, you're not interested in these live video sessions, we're going to do one of these a month, and you're not interested in those exercises I'm emailing you, that's fine. If you just want the coaching, that's okay with me. So yeah, then the other thing is these live videos, and then the last thing is these exercises I've been emailing you. Now, I need your help because I thought it'd be a good idea for us to use a Trello board, but we haven't really used it much. We just started, but I'm trying to figure out how to best use that. So if you have ideas, we don't have to use it, but if there's something that wouldn't be too much additional work that you feel would be a benefit, let me know. I'm getting over a cold, so I might have to mute this mic. I'm going to mute it right now and cough. Hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, so let's get started. I wanted to start by just sharing some stuff that I've discovered about you folks. And by the way, if you have questions or comments, just put them in the chat and I will try to get to them. So this, if you can see this here, maybe I should say hello because everyone's saying hello. This slide here is how you described yourselves. So we have a lot of software developers. We have a designer, we have a manager, we have a lot of people who identify as an entrepreneur, someone who identifies as an artist, a writer. So this is kind of the makeup of our small little group here. When I asked, have you tried launching in the past and what happened? This is kind of what showed up. No, this one's not as helpful. I can tell a lot of people were talking about their product. But let's move on to this one here. When I asked what stage you're at, these are some of the trends. Audience would be one, right? A lot of folks want to build an audience. A lot of people want to build their first product. Why does it keep going back? A lot of people are working during the day. A lot of people are struggling with marketing. So there's some common trends there. What do you want to improve? Marketing, audience, products, revenue, money. What's your biggest struggle? Marketing shows up again. Time, money. Oh, I have no idea why this keeps switching like this. This is really weird. Building. So we're starting to see some commonalities. I actually like using these word clouds with survey results. Just sometimes it brings things to the forefront. And then the last question was, what do you want to achieve? And a lot of you want to build your first product. A lot of you want to get to your first amount of revenue. A lot of you want to increase revenue. So that's why people are here. And oh, good. Some people I'm not the only one that's sick, eh? Focus. Yeah, a lot of people challenged with focus. Okay, one more cough, and then I'm going to get right into things. Hold. Sorry, I appreciate you sticking with me, even though yeah, this cough is no good. So for today's lesson, I wanted to start with some principles. And the first principle, and it's something I alluded to in the email exercise, is that you are unique. Nobody in this group is like you. You're the only person who is like you. And I think that's important as we move forward, because you're not going to have the same experience as me, and you're not going to have the same experience as other people. You are in your own unique context. Some of you have kids that you're providing for. Some of you are working a day job. Some of you are, we all have different skills. There's all sorts of things that make us different from one another. So throughout this whole experience, I want you to continually remind yourself that you are different than other product people. You're different than your heroes, and that's okay. What you have to figure out is how to leverage the unique strengths, the things that make you you, and use those things for whatever you end up launching. And in the self-discovery exercise that I sent you, one of the things, for example, that I discovered about myself is that I'm a geek, a computer geek that can't program. I've always loved computers. I've always liked making things with computers. But when I was a kid, if you gave me the choice between Macromedia Director or Adobe Flash and a programming language like C++, I would choose Adobe Flash and Macromedia Director every time. And that is just something about me. That's not to say that I can't learn a little bit of programming. I know some PHP, I know some JavaScript, but if I'm going to really leverage my strengths, I have to focus on the things that make me me. And I can't just focus on, the stuff I've tried over and over and over again to become like and not had any success. So you're unique, and that's okay. All right. The next, number 2, is finding your ideal customer is your number 1 priority. So tactics you learn from other people can help, but they're really secondary to you finding the customer that's going to be perfect for you. Man, sorry. And some people like to start with an idea. Some people are, brainstorming business ideas. But in all my experience and everything I've seen with my friends and other successful product people, they all start with an audience, a particular group of people, and they hang out with those people every day. They, join them in forums. They join them in Facebook groups. They go to meetups, and they basically try to figure out, what do these people really, really need? And then they build a product around that. So if you've been struggling with launching a product in the past, the key is for you to find your ideal audience, your ideal group of customers, and focus on them. And often these are folks that might be right behind you in some sort of process. So, maybe you're a brand new designer and you've been designing professionally for a year. Well, there are people who would like to become a junior designer that are right behind you. And so you can teach those people what you learned in your first year. Maybe you just started a freelancing business and you've been going for 1 or 2 years, and you learned all these things about setting up your business, creating your contract, what you should charge. And even though you're just 1 to 2 years into your business, you've learned things that could be helpful to people that want to get into freelancing. So all this to say, finding your ideal customer is your number one priority. Number 3, and this is the one I'm going to get really fired up about. I want you to imagine that you're walking in a hot desert. You've been walking for days. Your lips are parched, your skin is peeling, you're completely just exhausted, and you've just run out of water. And so you're completely parched. And as you make your way through the desert, you're kind of stumbling along, you realize that the only thing you have on your person is $100 bill. And then off in the distance, you see a little caravan. It's 3 vendors with tables set up. And as you get closer, you see they've all got their table and they're each selling one thing. The first vendor is selling a brand new PlayStation 4. It's brand new. It's the Uncharted bundle. And the price tag says PlayStation 4, regularly $350, now $100. Okay. The second vendor has this dirty cup on their table. And the cup is filled with this gray water. It looks like there's something in it. And on the cup, there's a label that says water, $5. And the final vendor on his table has an ice cold bottle of Coca-Cola. It's kind of glistening in the sun. It has that condensation on it. And the label reads, ice cold Coke, $100. Now, if you've been walking through the desert for 2 days and you're thirsty and you're hot and you're tired, which of those products are you going to buy? hopefully, maybe answer in the chat before I continue. I don't want to assume too much. Which would you buy? The PlayStation 4 for $100, regularly $350. This dirty cup of water in a dirty, greasy cup for $5, or the ice cold Coke for $100. Okay, so Webman says water. Anyone else? Wow, a lot of you guys are drinking the water. The point of the exercise is to think about what are people PS4. Maybe I need to change the example a little bit. The point is, people have to be thirsty for whatever product you're providing. And they're often willing to pay more if it's exactly what they need and they're desperate for it. So, as an example, my friend Adam Wathen just launched this course. And I'll share my screen here. It's a course called Test-Driven Laravel. And he's done extremely well with this. And when we were going through the reasons why were people so excited about buying this course, the way we thought of it was people are desperate to learn testing. It's like they've been walking through the desert thirsty for this material. And so when he provided it, they were willing to take out their wallets and buy it. Now, there are probably hundreds of courses that get launched every day, right? The same day as this course, maybe there was something launched on Udemy. Just go to Udemy. And just search PHP. And let's go newest. So let's say the same day, PHP 7 programming solutions got launched. Regularly $105 down to $15. There's no ratings. Nobody's taken it yet. But there's a difference between these two products. And one of them is that people are desperate, thirsty for Adam's topic. And that makes a huge difference. Let me give you another example. Let's see. What would be a good topic? ConvertKit is another product a lot of people have heard of. And Nathan's kind of breakthrough was that people were desperate for something simpler than MailChimp. And so when he offered this, like simple automation, simple email marketing, people wanted it so desperately that they were willing to leave MailChimp for it. Woo, sorry guys, I'm losing my voice here. So those are some things to consider when you're building your business. And then I have one more point number 4, and that is to be loud. You know, in business, all other things being equal, it's really whoever is loudest who wins. Yes, Jason, sorry, I've got this terrible cough. I didn't realize it was going to affect my voice that much. Why have you heard of Virgin Airlines? Because Richard Branson wouldn't shut up about it. Why do programmers know about Ruby on Rails? It's because DHH is loud and opinionated. Why do people know about BidSketch, Ruben Gamez's product? It's because Ruben made it the loudest result on Google. If we search for, look at this. We search for, well, I think it's proposal. So free proposal template. Is he the first? Oh, there he is. He's on the first page of search results for that search. So you got to be loud. You either got to be loud on Google, or you got to be loud, on social media. You have to be loud. Yeah. So Darian, a lot of it is being consistently loud. So many products are purchased because they're top of mind. So one of the reasons MailChimp is investing so much in podcast advertising is because they want to be the first thing you think about when you go to get email software. Same with stamps.com. When my wife and I needed to buy a new mattress, I want you guys to put this in the comments. Which mattress do you think we went and bought? We're thinking we need a new mattress for the guest room. Which mattress do we buy? That's right, Casper. And why? There's like hundreds of mattress companies. Why was it Casper that we thought of? Well, it's because it was top of mind. We had heard that over and over again on podcasts. Casper was good at being loud. What do you win? I'll figure out something. Is it Romain or is it Romaine? I'll figure out something. I'll give you a little prize for being first. So, you have to be loud. Now, if you're just loud, but you don't have those other things, if you have not leveraged your unique strengths, if you have not found your ideal customer and really figured out what makes them thirsty, if your product isn't like providing a cold drink to somebody in a hot desert, then it's no use being loud. But if all of those things are true, then it's going to be the loudest product, the loudest person that wins. Oh, so you're saying this contest was not fair? The YouTube delay is different for everyone, so it just means you had faster internet. Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to stop. I have a few more thoughts. Then I'm going to give my voice a break, and you guys can ask questions in the chat. Really sorry about my throat. I felt like I was feeling better than I really am. So here's the final thoughts. This really is, if you're going to get into products, if you're going to have your own business, this really is a battle. You've got to fight. It's not going to be easy. You're going to get your feelings hurt, for example, when you release your first thing and maybe it doesn't do as well as you wanted it to. And whatever idea you have, some of you have already started working on a product, some of you don't have an idea yet, but your idea, your product idea has to do battle. Your idea has to stand up to everything else vying for the customer's attention. And again, what you make has to hit a bunch of targets all at once. So I can't guarantee any of you success because this is hard. You have to, your product has to be something that people are thirsty for. It has to be well made and it has to get noticed. And so these are the things we're going to work on the next 4 months in your coaching calls, in these videos, and in the exercises I'm sending you. Is it worth doing? Is it worth trying? Absolutely. Do people who start now and start small beat the people who never start? Absolutely. So you're already ahead in the sense that you've committed yourself to doing this. You've committed with your dollars and your time, and that's already put you ahead. But I want you to know that this is a battle. It's not going to be easy. And like Darian's saying, yeah, everyone's success will be different and unique depending on who they are, depending on who their audience is. If your audience is poor college students, that'll be different than professional bloggers. Yeah, so those are the thoughts I had for today. I already see there's one question. Let me read that. Okay, so question, with the whole start with an audience first thing, does this mean you'd recommend ditching a product that you've already built? Not necessarily. It really depends. So let's go back to the desert example. What was funny is a lot of you said you drink the dirty water. And if that's true, maybe I'm the vendor with the $100 bottle of Coke and I misread the audience. I thought they wanted Coke, but they really are okay with dirty water for $5. If that's true, if everybody that comes up to the tables really just wants the dirty water and I've misread the audience, there's really not a lot I can do to change their minds. It's way better to target people in motion, people who are already incentivized to go after a solution, than it is to fight and fight and fight for, something that people just don't want. So if you already have traction, if it's already a group that you have some sort of rapport with, then, you might want to keep going. And maybe, Matt, that's something we could talk about in our first coaching call. But Matt, yes, you can reposition sometimes. I'm going to send you this article here. What is it? Here we go. Check out this article here. That might be helpful for you in terms of changing markets and repositioning. Yeah, so question, is it good to do workshops in something you want to launch before you launch? Yeah, so this is, if you're thinking about starting small with some sort of training product like a book, a course, etc., I'd recommend that you start with a workshop first. And this is an approach I talk about in a tutorial I just did called Teach and Earn. You know what? If you guys don't have that already, as a bonus for being the first secret makers and also because of this terrible cough, I'm going to give that to you for free. Hold on. Just for today, you can use this coupon and get that course for free because it shows you how to go from idea to workshop to online workshop to online course. So just let me get the coupon here. Almost. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to add a coupon call for secret makers. 100% off today for Teach and Earn. Is 100% off Teach and Earn. Just for today. So if you want that course, go and grab it, and I will keep that open for 24 hours. Yes, Quang, you can rewatch this video on replay. Hopefully the coughing and everything else is not terrible. I'm going to answer a few more, and then I think we will call it a day. So JT Webman had a good point too. I think this is what he's referring to. He says, audience first, I agree for products, but I think first you need to get your why correct to find the correct audience. So I'm assuming he's saying, like, why are you doing this in the first place? What is motivating you to want to launch a product? What is motivating you to want to, in a lot of ways, help and serve a particular audience? And having that as your foundation before you kind of run into a group and say, I'm going to help you with this, is really important. So I think that's what you meant, JT Webman. Let me know if I got that right. So Adele, I think I'm saying her name right. Adele, how to validate, refine the idea before you start to invest time to build it. That's a great question. And let me maybe just share kind of what I'm doing for my new product. Show you guys this. And Adele, if I'm getting your name right, is it Adele or Adele? I think this will illustrate how you kind of go from one thing to the other, how you put out a little thing and then get that validated and then continue from there. Yeah, what drives you is really important. Totally agree. Okay, so for Adele, here is what I'm doing for Tiny Marketing Wins. So this is a little newsletter that I launched last year. And basically, it allowed people to, and I think I launched it on Product Hunt. Let's see if we can find it there. So I had this idea to give people small little marketing tip every day. And so it was basically just a drip sequence that went for, I think, something like 2 or 3 weeks. You got a small marketing tip every day, and it was free. And I just wanted to see, how many people will sign up for this. The inspiration for this product came from the Product People Club. We're always sharing little marketing tips and tweaks with each other. And, these marketing activities typically take 15 minutes to do, but they can add up to big improvements for the product business. So I thought, well, why not create something that emails you a small tactic every day? And I tried it out. It got 595 upvotes and I think something like 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers. So in terms of validation, this was a small thing. I just put up this landing page, created a drip sequence in ConvertKit. I'll even take you behind the scenes here and show you what this ended up looking like. So if we go to sequences, the Tiny Marketing Wins sequence. Well, I've already started to update this, but it basically was, here's a tip every single day for a couple weeks. So this was a drip sequence I just set up in ConvertKit, and people signed up for it, and they got a little tip every day. And the response was really great. People really liked this thing. One thing I found, though, was I couldn't keep it up because for free, that's a lot of stuff. A daily marketing tip is just too much work. And so this year, when I was thinking, okay, what is the one product I want to release this year? I looked at this again. And I said, well, why don't I turn, this had a really great response. Why don't I turn this into a paid product? And so to validate that, I bought the domain tinymarketingwins.com, and I just started putting out free videos. So instead of just like a simple, email, I thought I'm going to level this up with both a text description, but also a tutorial video. And I wonder if I can show you guys this and anonymize it. Let me think here. I got a very particular kind of response. Actually, I'll show you the responses on Twitter because that's a little bit safer than me going into my inbox. So I started getting feedback like this. People really liked it. Oh, and I posted teasers as native video on Twitter and Facebook as well. People were responding to these videos like this. People were asking questions like this. Rob said, wow, this product will pay for itself in 1 week. And so far, I haven't launched it officially yet, but so far, it feels like the validation I've had so far is looking really good. People seem to genuinely want this. People are, excited about it. And here, I'm going to stop screen sharing and just show you guys the, I'm going to anonymize this. I can see all you guys got the course on Coach here. Okay, so I'm going to anonymize this. Just give me a second. But this email is, Adele, is exactly kind of what you're looking for. And where is it? Here it is. So read this email here. So I think you can get a sense of what kind of validation you're looking for. You kind of put things out in tiny little steps. You know, my first step was to create just a simple email sequence. My next step was to create a landing page for it, and this one right here. You know, my next step was to create a landing page for it. My next step was to post it on Product Hunt. My next step was to look through all of the feedback I got via email and Twitter. And then my next thought was, how can I iterate on this? Daily free email tips is not sustainable, but maybe a weekly video tutorial plus supporting materials like sample code, etc. Maybe that's sustainable, and maybe that's something people would pay for. Now, the ultimate test is, are people willing to take out their wallets, take out their credit card? This is the credit card I use for all of my business expenses. I'm in Canada, so it's a US dollar card. But if I take out this card, it means I'm ready to buy. But what gets me to actually take out this card and buy? And that will be the ultimate test of whether Tiny Marketing Wins works. And that will be the ultimate test of whether or not your products will work. So everything I've shown you up till now is good validation. It's nice to hear people say nice things. But until people buy, we don't really know. And by the way, another exercise, maybe I'll make this our next group exercise that I'll send you, is to go through your last purchase. My last purchase, the last thing I took my credit card out for was GoAnimate.com. This is how I'm making the animated videos. Oops, Go Animate. There we go. So this is $80 per month. And I was so thirsty for this solution. So my desire was so great to make little animated videos like this that I was willing to take out my wallet and buy. That's how thirsty I was. Exactly, Jason. So this is something to think about, is what caused you to go take out your wallet and actually buy? Why were you thirsty for it? Why did you trust the people that you bought from? All of those things is important. Yeah, a lot of people ask me about this. I need to get an affiliate link going with these guys. Here, I'll show you what it looks like to make a video, because I literally get a question about this every day. Now, this is kind of like me sharing all my secrets here. This is one way that makes me unique. This is one way that makes me loud, people. One thing I don't like about it is that it's web software, so it's quite slow. But if you've ever used a nonlinear editor, what did I just say? A nonlinear editor is what I meant to say. It's very similar. So you have your timeline down here, and then you have all of your assets here. So let me add a blank scene. So I can make this office scene. I can, one really cool thing is, I've done this a lot, is you can make these people talk by uploading MP3. Do I have one here? I'll see if I got something I can use here. So here's an MP3. So now this guy will, it'll lip sync me talking with this guy right here. I can also replace the characters. I've got some custom characters I've created. So this is my buddy Chase from Fizzle. This is my friend Rob Walling. This is the one I created for me. This kind of funny, bug-eyed guy. So yeah, this is how I make the videos. Do you use Product Hunt for developer-based training tools as well, or do you use Hacker News and other sources for those tools? Yes, I use Product Hunt. I use Hacker News, especially JT Webman. I especially Show HN. Show HN is it's not as competitive as the main Hacker News feed, and people are these stories tend to stick around longer. It's built for self-promotion. So this is a great place to be. And I also use reddit.com, startups, and programming. You've got to be appropriate for all of those communities. For test-driven Laravel, Adam's found the best channel for him has been Twitter. So you can try out a bunch of these, and actually, JT Webman, if you don't have it already, this is kind of fun. This is like me being Oprah. I'll give you a free copy. Everyone here, look under your chair. I'll give you a free copy of the Hacker News Handbook. So just let me find that. If you don't have it already, you can read that. If you're selling a technical product or you're marketing to developers, that's a great one. Yeah, you get a copy. You get a copy. So let me just find that, Hacker News. And then I think we'll end unless you guys have any other questions. If you have ideas on how we can better use Trello, let me know. Just email me that. If you have any other questions, again, Secret Maker Society is essentially these live training videos, 4 coaching calls with me, and the exercises that I will email you. The first one was the self-discovery exercise. Okay, so Secret Makers, and I'm probably only going to keep these open for 24 hours, but let's see if this works. All right, so yes, I am going to send you guys this book. There you go, Hacker News Handbook. And how are you watching this at 3/4 speed, Quang? That's amazing. Yeah, sorry. Again, I'm sorry I'm sick. I can't handle that, but I'm glad I powered through, and thank you for sitting there and listening through my sniffles and my coughs and my voice that when I lost it. Really glad you guys are excited. This is awesome to see. I gotta, these always disappear, so we gotta just scroll through the excitement here. Awesome to see you guys getting excited for this. And yeah, the next call will be the first Wednesday of, well, guaranteed we'll have another video like this the first Wednesday of February. However, stay tuned to the email because I may do another one. Whenever I get inspired, whenever I learn something else, a lot of today's conversation came from the coaching calls. So as I'm doing more of those calls, I might say, you know what, we gotta jump on another video call like this and really go through something together. So stay tuned to the email, and I will add. I'm gonna schedule these calls first Wednesday of the month, same time, and you'll get an email with all those links as well. All right. Thanks again, everybody. And yeah, really excited to have this kickoff. Really excited to see what you're going to achieve over the next 4 months. And this is like the foundation today. This month, February, we're going to get started and try to help you earn some income. Hopefully, pay back some of what you're investing while you're still in the program. All right. See you later.